Well, we tried to stay in Liberia as long as it was possible because I felt called to be there and do what God wanted me to do.
Robert Glaybo was a leader in Liberia. He served as a teacher, school principal, pastor, and Bible translator until a violent civil war forced him from his homeland.
The rebels, one afternoon, they came to my house and beat me up severely, and they said they would come back to finish me off. The only way for our family to be safe and eventually end up here is for me to go first. Yeah, I think that was one of the hardest decisions in my life to make.
Robert met Carl Sodergren shortly after he arrived in the United States.
I met Robert in a computer class. I was a volunteer instructor on Saturdays in a computer class at Marion Park in Wheaton.
Here's somebody who never knew me before. Back home, people that I lived with most of my life were the ones who were seeking my life to take it away. Here's somebody I never knew before. All I can hear from him is how he wanted to help me. And I was overwhelmed.
Through Carl, Robert was introduced to the people of St. Paul Lutheran Church.
What did I know about St. Paul Lutheran Church when I was in Liberia, or about Carol, or about anybody else? But it's a God-sent blessing, because these are people who accepted me into their church, into their homes. I don't think I could have made it by myself within those 4+ years that I was separated from my wife, because it was very, very difficult. We had been married for 45 years.
When Edna Glaybo arrived, it was one of the high points for us because we had walked with Robert for 4 years, waiting for her, months at a time of not knowing where she was, where she might be running to next, whether she would get there. And I remember Robert's face when we were waiting for her at the airport. There were a number of us, and we were talking, but his face was riveted. You know, his eyes were on that window waiting for her to get off the plane.
Pastor Melody was there, Carol was there, and some of our friends. And when I saw her coming out of the terminal, I couldn't believe my eyes.
I was really surprised when I saw all these people around him. I thought it was going to be only him waiting for me, but I saw all these strange faces that I've not seen before, and I was surprised, but at the same time, I thank God that he had somebody that was holding him up here when he was alone.
I just remember when I first arrived, I knew nobody, I didn't know my way around. And those who helped me back on my feet did such great work that I felt obligated. I owe it to somebody else.
I work in a nursing home as a nursing assistant, and I really enjoy the work. The main thing about this work is the love that you give to those residents. Actually, some of them don't have anybody again to come and even visit them. And they look at us as a family.
Well, I've become more and more aware of what refugees contribute, and I get a little bit emotional when I talk about that, but the example that they can give to us about perseverance, about faith and trust in God, they can serve as a inspiring example for all of us, and that's one of the important things we receive from refugees.
St. Paul Lutheran Church has now welcomed refugees from all over the world, including Sudan, Liberia, and Bhutan.
Exodus has helped us by becoming that support and that backbone and that strength that gives us the courage to step into this ministry. We know we're not in this alone.
Well, Exodus World Service is an organization which sets up the framework for helping. And all you have to do as a person or as a church is to plug in.
It hasn't just benefited those who have just come to this country, but it has changed us. It has taught us courage and grace and a new kind of peace that you don't hold on to by clutching and fearing, but that you discover by reaching out and letting go and welcoming. And it's just been delightful.
Well, we want to say thank you to Exodus World Services, who have wholeheartedly welcomed us, and we look at you as brothers and sisters, and we feel at home when we are around you.
The blessings that come are always deeper than we expect and more unexpected than we realize. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't trade it for anything.